Evolution of SpaceX Rockets 2023. Gone are the simpler times when the space race was a showdown for power between the hot dog obsessed, statistically obese, capitalist haven and the Soviet Union. Pun courtesy of Philomena Kunk. But things have changed. Henry Kissinger is off to stage a coup with the devil and Queen Elizabeth and Thatcher. Insert Henry Kissinger's meme. And two eccentric businessmen are running behind colonizing Mars and shooting tech-savvy rockets into space. While you sit in your mom's basement watching this video, ordering baggier hoodies from Amazon to hide the stress-eating shame, and debating over your new model of Tesla that you might never afford, SpaceX is busy perfecting rocket designs to shoot rich people into space on safer, cheaper flights. But hey, those space Napoleons might not care about you. But we do, and let's not kid ourselves. We know it's not your last video for the night, so why not just hit the like button in a sneaky second, and we'll gear up to bring forth with sweet eye candy updates of Mr. Elon and his team's plan to garnish his SpaceX rockets with... Let's don our intellectual hat and go head first into SpaceX sci-fi geeky rabbit hole, and why every kid with daddy issues romanticizes Elon Musk. Origins. Since Elon Musk kickstarted SpaceX in 2002, they've been on a cosmic mission to revolutionize space travel and colonize Mars before hell breaks loose over Earth. Anytime now. In 2005, SpaceX took its baby steps by testing Falcon 1, a rocket named after the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars. Before you imagine it zooming into Mars, nope, it's aimed to orbit Earth first. The launch was a roller coaster with delays due to bad weather, technical faults, 3 failed attempts. The liftoff took place on March 24th, 2006. Sadly, just like every young guy's hopes, the rocket splashed into the ocean 25 seconds later. Call it engine trouble or cosmic intervention. Even attempts 2 and 3 failed brutally. Musk was feeling the heat. With the budget for 3 launches maxed out, failure was not an option. On September 28, 2008, Falcon 1 finally made it to orbit. They probably should have hired Sheldon Cooper. In July 2009, it even delivered a satellite. The average cost per launch was roughly $6.7 million. They planned Falcon 1E, a bigger version, but dropped it due to limited demand. Falcon 5 and 9. NASA granted SpaceX a $1.6 billion contract for commercial resupply services. This was a significant victory. This required creating a brand new, significantly larger rocket for SpaceX to transport supplies to the International Space Station. SpaceX first suggested the Falcon 5. It's interesting to note that, since Saturn V, this would have been the first American launched spacecraft to have real engine dependability. This implied it could achieve its objective even if one of the engines failed. But SpaceX decided to scrap the Falcon 5 in 2006 to develop the Falcon 9, a far bigger rocket for an incredible 9 engines. The Falcon 9's first version stood 48 meters tall, or to simply, for American friends, it was the size of 10 giraffes. The first ever Falcon 9 flight from Cape Canaveral took place June 4, 2010, and it went well, with the Dragon spacecraft achieving all its targets. Then on December 8, 2010, as part of NASA's Commercial Orbital Transportation Services contract, tests were conducted using the Falcon 9 and an operational Dragon capsule. SpaceX became the first privately financed firm to launch, orbit, and successfully retrieve a spacecraft due to the voyage, by successfully delivering the cargo Dragon capsule to the International Space Station on May 25, 2012. The Falcon 9 became the first commercial spacecraft to rendezvous with and connect to the International Space Station, making yet another first. Another joint venture. NASA gave SpaceX a second, very lucrative $2.6 billion deal in 2014. This time it involved transporting American personnel and supplies to the International Space Station. SpaceX would use Dragon V2 crew capsule for this. This craft may carry 6,000 kilograms of cargo and 4 people into orbit. Its design life was 210 days when docked in the International Space Station and 10 days in free flight. Manned missions. SpaceX successfully completed the first orbital-class rocket reflight on March 30, 2017, breaking yet another record in the history of reusable rocketry. Interestingly, they succeeded in relaunching and landing a previously used rocket. The Falcon 9 first stage made a second trip back to Earth after delivering its cargo. The Falcon full thrust has made 132 launches and 111 successful landings out of 178 attempts so far. It created history when SpaceX launched astronauts Doug Hurley and Bob Behnken on a Falcon 9 rocket on May 30th, 2020. As SpaceX's first human spaceflight and the first American crewed trip in 9 years following the end of the Space Shuttle program, the astronauts were flown to the International Space Station. Orbital space flight. With the Inspiration 4 mission launch in September 2021, SpaceX accomplished the first orbital spaceflight involving exclusively civilians. By producing up to 80% of the rocket components domestically, as opposed to outsourcing, SpaceX was able to save costs. The Falcon Heavy, capable of carrying large payloads to orbit and supporting missions as far as the Moon or Mars, debuted in 2018 as the most potent operational rocket in the world by a factor of 2. SpaceX Crew Dragon. SpaceX's Crew Dragon jumped into action before the world could even fathom what this Tony Stark, Bruce Wayne type of billionaire is up to after Tesla wreaking havoc on Twitter. Rest in peace. The resilient spacecraft, a pivotal part of the Crew 3 mission, steals the show in 2023 by making spaceflight easier, cheaper, and safer, providing the world yet again that he might be just another alien cyborg disguised, an imposter amongst ourselves. The second being Biden, of course. This spacecraft is an engineering at its finest, like a Tesla for space travel, to soar with elegance and style. A cosmic top G. Mission 2024. SpaceX is mere days away from the second attempt at launching the world's most powerful rocket into orbit. While the initial journey of the Starship may have ended up with rapid unscheduled disassembly, we can safely say that the second orbital launch attempt will play out differently than the first. It still won't guarantee absolute success, but we know SpaceX has made over 1,000 changes to the Starship rocket and the ground-based launch system that will ensure exciting results the second time around. Call to action. Since you made it this far, we think it's prudent that you exercise your fingers to like our video. Trust us, this exercise is definitely in your best interest because we care about our precious viewers. Evolution of technical prowess. Unlike you losing hope after getting dumped by just one girl, SpaceX doesn't just stop at making rockets reusable. They've got some serious upgrades under the hood. Take the Raptor engine, for instance. It's like the powerhouse behind the Starship. The engine is not your everyday rocket engine. It's a full-flow stage combustion engine, meaning it's super efficient. They also use lightweight materials like carbon composites to boost how much stuff the spacecraft can carry and keep it structurally sound, unlike your relationship, which never was structurally sound. Sorry. Conclusion. SpaceX has sparked renewed interest in space travel, making billionaires like Branson and Bezos join the I Want My Own Rocket Club. Make aims to turn Mars into a possible 2026 vacation destination. In pursuit, SpaceX has reduced launch costs tenfold and reusable rockets completing 156 launches, landing 118, and reusing 95 rockets. To fund Mars plans, SpaceX initiated Starlink, a satellite internet constellation with 42,000 planned satellites that's gonna be like a cool intergalactic Wi-Fi on steroids. Mark envisions producing 1,000 Starships for Mars colonization, anticipating Starship launches to cost under $10 million in 2 to 3 years. Excitingly, SpaceX continues testing and improving rockets, aiming to land humans on Mars by 2026. In conclusion, the evolution of SpaceX rockets in 2023 is nothing short of revolutionary. From Crew Dragon to the mighty Starship, SpaceX is not merely exploring space, it's redefining the cosmic narrative. The Cosmo is no longer a distant frontier, it's our next destination. Let us know in the comments what plans you have to make to Mars. And trust me, don't turn the comment section into a gutter, please. But do comment and like, and don't miss to subscribe for more amazing videos. Until next time, see you in space.